Hello everyone and welcome to the NINJAof1 YouTube channel and the 2022 ZX10R non-ABS transformation modifications video series. My name is Chris and we're going to perform the final disassembly of the ZX10R that includes removing the fuel tank, removing the airbox, and removing the pair valve hoses and solenoid along with the engine seal cover. This will complete the disassembly portion of the series and will begin the modifications, starting with the ECU. I'll remove it and send it off to more Mafia. Each mod will be a dedicated single video upload. There may be chapters, some may not have chapters, but they will definitely be shorter in time, and I plan on getting a video uploaded every 2 to 3 days for the next 20 plus videos that I have. So be on the lookout. If you haven't seen the other 3 videos I've uploaded, be sure to check out the intro to the series video, the preparation stage, disassembly of the fairings. These segments are designed to better facilitate the mods later in the series. There's a lot covered here, so if there are any questions, don't hesitate to ask in the comments below. And while you're there, leave a comment. Like, subscribe, and while you're there, hit that notification bell for the mods that I'll be pumping out here in the next few weeks. And thank you again for visiting NINJAof1 YouTube channel, and I'll see you later. So we're going to remove the fuel tank, we're going to remove the air cleaner housing, all right? And we're going to start off with that bolt there, and then we're going to go on the other side and we'll get that bolt, and then we'll go ahead and take these bolts out here on this back bracket and then lift it up, get something to hold it, and then we'll remove the hoses that are on the bottom and remove the fuel line. And that should give us enough wiggle room to go ahead and remove the tank. So let me set you up here. All right, I'm just loosening it, and then I'm going to go ahead and disconnect the wiring to the fuel tank. All right, there we go. So it's got a little tab right here that you lift up and then pull it out. All right, so now that's disconnected, so we're good there. All right, let's see if we can get back out here. All right, and we'll see what happens next here. All right, so I'm going to get 2 rags and a big rag. All right, so I'm going to put these 2 rags right down in there, just to make sure we don't get any marring on this thing. Okay, all right, let's see what we can do here. Tank. It's feels like I'm forcing it. I really shouldn't have to do that. Let's see here. We're going to lift the tank up and put the rag around it. Okay. Do the same here. All right, we're back. All right, so I didn't do anything that you didn't miss anything. What I did do is I removed the hose from there, that hose, and then I removed the hose from there. And it's that hose. They weren't too hard to get off. It was just, you can only lift it so far. So what I did is I took this towel here and I rolled it up, and then I, kind of folded it and then set it right here on top of the air box. And that gave me enough room to get in there and wiggle those out. So now we're going to go ahead and take off the fuel line. All right, here we go. So I got the tank propped up, in case you didn't see it here. I got the tank propped up using this this auger bit, which is inside of a plastic sleeve, and I got it propped up here, and I got it propped right here on the bearing stamper bracket. So just got to be careful not to mess with it too much. All right, and there we go. We're on it. So we're going to take that little orange clip off, and we're going to take it off, not necessarily all the way off. Put a rag under here, catching any residual gas, but we're actually going to take this side and this side, and we're going to lift it right here on the back side that you can't see, and we're going to slide this forward then, and then pull this out. All right, so let's just see how all that works. All right, I found it. All right, so if you use a small screwdriver to pry this and then push these insides out, and then this cap, there we go, now it's off. All right, here we go. We're going to take the fuel line off, make sure we don't move the tank, and it's coming off. Okay, cool. All right, catching the fuel out of here. Cool. All right, and then I got this cap. This cap here. This cap is what you put on pins or dowels that you use in like a cabinet for shelves, right? So the shelf would rest on this, and this would be on the pin that goes in the hole of a cabinet that holds shelves. So, but it works perfectly to cap this hole off. And we're going to do our best to get it on there. Might have to stretch it out here. Let me get a screwdriver and stretch this out. Let's give this a shot now. right, there we go. Now we got that on there. All right. And to make sure we don't get any more gas out of the line, we'll put another cap in there. All right, if I'm going to screw that, we'll expand this a little bit. And then I'm going to slide it into the fuel line hole, just like that. And then we're just going to leave that as is. All right, so we're done with that. Now I'm going to reposition the camera and we'll take a look and see how this tank comes off. But it looks like we got the two lines out. We got it unplugged. The fuel pump unplugged. We got the fuel line disconnected, so I think we can take it out. All right, let me set you up. All right, there you go. So that's how that works. All right, so you see the auger bit inside of the plastic sleeve. Makes perfect, prop rod there for the fuel tank. So, and then just to give you a closer look of what's going on in the fuel line. You can see I put this screw in there, but inside the screw, let's see if I can take it out with one hand here. So I put this little white cap on there, and then I just pressed it in there, and that just keeps the fuel from leaking out, and you'll still be able to take it out. All right, so let me set you back up on this. All right, and then we'll get back over here. All right, and then we'll go ahead and take the auger off, and I make sure I got a place to put the gas tank. So give her a go, see what happens. All right, I'm moving it forward so that it doesn't hit the subframe and scratch it all up. Now I'm going to set it over here. All right, so this is what I did. I just got it resting on the fuel. You see the little fuel line there, and it's got the cap on it. And then I got a 2x4 resting up against the back portion of that breather hose for the fuel tank, and that keeps it up straight, so I won't have any fuel leaking out. So let me set you up on the air box. All right, we're all set up for the air box. All right, so I don't think there's any particular order. We're just gonna kind of look at it. Does it need to be removed? And then we're gonna remove it. So first things first, we'll go ahead and get these little electrical components off of the holder. That'll take care of that. And then we'll just leave this on there because, yeah, there's no point in taking this off. All right, so that part is done. And then we'll get it out of that little slot there. Okay, so now that's ready. All right. And then we got a little push pad here. I'm going to take that off, and then we're going to slide this air sensor out, air sensor connector. And then we'll slide this out of the slot, slide that out, we'll slide this out, and then we'll just connect that, And okay, so all that's disconnected, that's good. All right. And then I think that's it for that part. So now we're going to go ahead and we'll go ahead and disconnect this fuel line here. Okay, and it's the same as the fuel tank. So again, I'm going to go ahead and get a cap, get a little screwdriver here, and then we're going to slide that in there like that. We're going to push these two outward, these two little U-tents, and we'll just pop that off. Get our rag ready for any fuel that might be in there. Okay, then we'll take this and then we'll just shove it in the hole. That'll cap it off, keep it from leaking any excess fuel. All right, cool, so that's off. All right, so that's off. All right. And what else do we got here? We got this bracket here that's kind of slid on. I think we can just slide that out like that. All right, I don't have anything touching here, or here. All right, now. All right, we got, all these are Phillips head here. We'll go ahead and remove the screws. Definitely got a seal on that sucker. Wow. And I think that's it. Just one more. Oh, two more. I got two more here. No, actually, I got three. I got the one in the middle, too. Okay, so there is a short one here. Actually, no. Yeah. Yeah, I do need to take this off. Isn't that something? Huh. Yeah, that has to come off. All right, no problem. The short one goes on the bracket. This short one right here. Goes right here on this bracket.
So this isn't a mounting screw here for the top of the air box. It's actually just a spot to mount the bracket. So we'll put that off to the side, and then we'll get the rest of this bracket off with one of the screws that's doubling up as a bracket holder. And no, it isn't. It's another short screw. Two short screws for the bracket, and it's off. And then we'll go ahead and take the last screw off here. That surrounds it, and then we'll go for the middle one. Wow. Okay. Last one. Right down there in the middle. See how this thing works? Here, take this off. Oh, nice. It came right off. All right, we got a little oil there. A little gummy. Okay. So we're just going to leave this connected to the harness because there's really no point in taking it off. I'll get this cleaned up later before we assemble it. Just getting any excess out of there. And there goes the fuel. There goes the fuel. All right. Okay, let's get this wiped up here. All right, looks like we got to take the velocity stacks off, and there are 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3 each. Hang on, I'm going to bag and tag what I got. All right, we're back. Now we're going to take the velocity stacks off. Let's get the other one off. Wow. Okay, now I know why that one doesn't come out, because it's got a little thing in there to keep it from falling in the throttle bodies when you take it off. All right. Probably didn't need to take these off, but what the hell, they're off. Okay. Make sure no dirt gets down in there. You can see my hands are a little cut up. I'm trying to take that front fairing off. But I know how to do it now, so it should be easier the next time. All right, now my understanding is that there's something I got to loosen down here to get the lower housing off, and I'm not quite sure. So let me investigate that, and we will be right back. Okay, we're back. So once we get the top off and get the, I don't think we needed to take the velocity stacks off, but either way, that screw, that Allen head, that black Allen head screw all the way in the back there, right there, is going to release tension on the intake between the throttle bodies and the intake, right? That right there, and then there's another one right here. Unless I get on the other side, but you'll see it when you work it. They're just right across from each other. We're going to loosen those, and that's going to loosen up the grip around these throttle bodies, and then we'll be able to lift it up. So let me set you up. Stand by. All right, we're set up. So let me move this hose out of the way. And we do need to remove this hose right here. So I think that's it. I think we're in good shape. Let me get an Allen wrench. Take little baby steps on this here. No biggie. It might be a biggie here. Let's see. All right, so now we're going to get this one here. There. Oh, wow, that's... Okay. I think that's loose enough. Yeah, that's loose enough. All right, now I'm going to take these hoses off here. This one. Let's see, are you in the shot? Let me make sure you're in the shot. All right, so we're going to take this hose off right here. This hose right here. And then there's another hose right here. It's out of your view, so let me get this one off first. All right, let me get my handy dandy plastic tool here. Get that
push down there. There we go. Okay, all right, that's off. All right, and then we just got one more here. Let me show you where that's at. One more hose. That hose right there. That one right there. So let me take that one off, and then I'll get you back when we go to pull the lower housing off. All right, folks, we're back. I got the hoses off. I got this big hose off here. I got this little hose off here. I got the clamp screws loosened. And then it looks like I've got to take the steering damper off to get to this Allen head bolt that holds the front of the lower air cleaner on. So, all right, so let me get a 10 millimeter. All right, that'll take care of that. And then let me just let me get this off here. That's the air box. Put that in the air box. Tag bag. Take the air filter out and see what's going on there. All right, nothing's going on there. So I think I gotta lift it up and pull it back. So now I'm just gonna try to lift it off. And I gotta lift it up and pull it back because of this housing right here on the snorkel. And we'll see what happens. All right, there we go. All right. What else we got going on here? We got another hose. I don't know about it. Let's see. I guess no, it doesn't have to. Yeah, this is all one piece here, so. There must be another. Ah, there is. Yeah, there's one right here. There's a hose right here. So let me take that off. Big hose right here in the middle corner. Middle, just in front of the throttle bodies. So I'm just gonna take that off.
that it? That's it. That's it. That's the housing. All right. Woo! That was a lot. Hey, I'm going to go ahead and bag and tag some screws, and I'm going to put the velocity stacks back on here because I didn't really need to take them off, but I'll clean it up a little bit. So I'll be right back. All right, I got the velocity stacks back on, snugged them up. It wasn't, it wasn't totally unnecessary. Got me a chance to get in there and clean all the oily residue that I wouldn't have been able to reach with it. So went ahead and put that back together. No issues. And then I went ahead and bagged and tagged everything. And I ended up finding the screws here for the rear fender. I gotta label that. So I dropped one earlier, but this is what I got so far for the bag and tag of screws here. And I'll go over it once I get everything done. So bear with me. We're going to take the engine cover seal off, which is this right here, this flapper thing here. We're going to take that out of the way so that we can get to the pair valves up here and take those off, and then we take off the solenoid, and then I think, yeah, this hose is coming off, and we're going to plug it with the SC Project. This hose is coming out. So we're getting ready to disassemble. We're getting ready to do the actual mods. So let me get that cover off, and that'll complete the disassembly of the fairing, the tank, the air cleaner housing, and the engine cover seal. So give me a second, I'll set this up right now. All right, we're back. I'm going to go ahead and take the engine cover seal off. Let's see how that works. I believe I'm going to have to take these plugs out that are in the coil. So let's see. Yeah, because it ain't going to go through it. So let me take those off and get it out of the way. Where's here? All right. That's off. Let me set this off over here. Get this last one. So I got them all off. I don't think I need to take this one off to get to it, but let's give it a shot and see if we can get this flap out of the way here. Wow. Yeah, I'm going to have to disconnect these wires and all that other stuff to get this flat, this, it's called the engine cover seal. So. Here. And on this side here. All right, let me get a light over here. It's getting hard to see. Got it. All right. Okay. All right. Easy, girl. Easy. All right, hang on. I'll be right back. All right, got it off. Apparently you lift it, you don't push it. So, all right, let's see if we can get this thing off. All right, I'm just gonna take this hose off just to get it out of the way. All right, I'm not taking the hose off. I'm taking the whole thing off. All right, it's out. One pair of valves out. So let me see if I can vacuum up this mess here so we don't get any dirt anywhere. Let's try to get this thing out of the way here. It'll let me. You went back in, didn't you? Really don't have a lot of room here. Okay, now we're out. Okay, cool. All right, now I can pull this back. I don't need to take it all the way out. Just got to pull it back just to get a pair of valve plates exposed. Make sure we don't have nothing else caught here. Alright. I don't know if it would be easier to pull it from the rear, but I'm already there, so. Oh, nice. That wasn't installed properly. That's all folded up. Right. Okay, there you go. There you have it. We are totally uninstalled, completely done. So, taking the pair valve off before this engine seal cover is a smart move, and the best way to do it is to just pull it straight up, wiggle it around, pull it out, and then it'll disconnect from these two little nozzles, these little spouts right here. Getting that plug off was a little tricky. That plug right here, it goes in there, but you should lift it up, I think. You lift it up. Well, either way, it was just really hard to get off, but it's off. So, and we're gonna tape all that. We're gonna put black tape on that, cover that up, just so we don't get any water, anything like that. But essentially, this is done. This pair valve is removed. It's done. We're going to set it off to the side here. And then we'll do a walk around of the bike. We'll do a walk around of the bike, and then I'll show you everything that's done, and we'll go from there. So hang on just a second. Let me get you set up. All right, here we are, done with this assembly of the fairing, air box, air filter, and the engine cover seal. I didn't remove it, I just moved it over. But here's the air box. I got it all cleaned up. I put the velocity stacks back on. Just didn't make sense to have it off, you know, for assembly and disassembly purposes. But it did give me an opportunity to clean it out. So you can see it's all cleaned out, all the bugs, all the oil. And then here's the air filter. It's not bad, you know, there's a little bugs in there, but you can see, man, there's a lot of restriction going on. There's a pair valve. I went ahead and took that out, disconnected the electrical cable. And then here's the seat bracket. You've probably seen earlier in the video that it was laying there. I just put it there because I knew I was going to get to it later. I didn't want to wiggle it around and mar up the rear fender cowl. And then here we have the flap that goes on the side of the air box that covers these two components right here. And there's a bracket inside here that goes with it. Okay, and then of course it has two screws that mount onto the air box. That's just a little toolkit and my vehicle registration. And then over here we have all the parts labeled, all the screws and bolts and push pins. They're all labeled where they go, and it's pretty straightforward. I highly recommend doing this. At first it may not seem like a lot, but then they just start getting confusing, right? So, all right, so what I did here is I just set up the tools, all right, and for me to disassemble the fairing, the air, the tank, the air cleaner housing, and then the air filter, and then pulling that engine seal flat back. These are all the tools that I needed. A couple ratchets there with various extensions, and then the Allen wrenches there that you see there. The larger one was for loosening up the grip on the throttle bodies down here. So that allowed me to, take that throttle body off with those screws loose. And I can show you on the bottom of the air cleaner what that looks like. It's just a pain to get to. It's just really hard to get to these here because they're kind of, you can see where the way they're positioned. They're aligned with each other. So I'm gonna probably go to the store and get some round-tipped Allen heads and with long extensions on it. So, but I was able to get it loose. Just took a little time. And then I got these universals here that I used to kind of get to it on the throttle bodies, those two bolts that were cinching down on it. And then these are the various screwdrivers I used. And then I used this plastic, I guess this is like a panel tool here for like removing door panels and stuff like that. I like to use this because it doesn't put a lot of stress on the rubber hoses like a screwdriver would, and you got a little leverage right here. So I would recommend using something like this when you're messing with the hoses. And then I use the needle nose to kind of pinch together the hose clamps that were under the tank, namely this one here, and then this little monster right here. So as long as you're patient. All right, and you see I got it plugged here. If I pull this out a little bit, you'll see I got a little rubber cap on there. As I mentioned earlier, these little caps go on to pins or dowels that go into cabinets, and then they extend out of the hole on the side of the cabinet, so you can put shelves on it, and they work perfectly for this right here. So I just put this in here just to kind of keep the gas from leaking out, and I did the same here where it connects to the fuel tank. So I didn't really need to take anything else off. You might have seen videos out there on YouTube that shows, you know, some shortcuts or maybe some other things that I didn't do. But the purpose of taking this bike apart the way I have it is so that I have free access to everything, and I'm not, you know, jerking things around and ripping it apart. It's definitely helped in the area of understanding when I start removing this canister and I start removing this particular item. I got a name for it. Okay, so this is called the air intake flapper valve chamber. That's what this is. You'll see more details of that, but for the most part, this is the sheet I'm going by, and as I do something different, like I took the paravalve off before I removed the engine seal cover. That's what I think this. What this is called here? It's the engine seal cover, and I'll update the sheet so it kind of follows the method to the madness. But again, like taking off all the fairings and stuff, it's really made life a lot easier. I can see everything. I know what hoses go where. And I think if I left anything on, it would probably, you know, make it a little bit more difficult. And there's probably a chance that I would, you know, disconnect the wrong thing or cut the wrong thing or possibly damage something. But so far, I've been very lucky. I have not scratched, damaged, dented, lost anything on this build so far. So what I did here is I just temporarily put this here, okay? And I temporarily put the screw, well, I'll leave the screw here until I get the tank in. I did it because I don't have the tool to take this off, and I don't want to take it off. It doesn't need to be off. Other than that, everything is pretty straightforward. I have access to everything. I'll be able to slide cables out, you know, for the flapper valve on the exhaust. And I don't know, it's looking really good so far. So I'm going to take a break. You all had a chance to see this. She's a beauty. She looks pretty. Woo-hoo. And then we'll commence doing what we got to do. I'm going to take a break, eat some lunch, and go from there. All right, guys, thanks for hanging in there. I'll be back in